Hey guys, it's Mike here, and welcome to another video we're bringing you here today talking about Dragon Ball Super and a topic I have for all of you today, which I think could make for an interesting theory, and that is, are Goku, Vegeta, and the rest of the gang going to the future to help future Trunks against this evil Black Goku character? And joining me today, I have someone you're all familiar with and who I've done videos with in the past, and his name is...
Yes, many videos, guys. Hey guys, what's up? It's Josh from Dragon Ball Nation, of course. Good to be here.
And essentially, Josh, what we're going to be talking about today is that theory about whether or not it's possible, and I think that there is some evidence kind of pointing in that direction. There was a summary for the upcoming episode 47, in which I guess they're going to be introducing, say, Black Goku and this whole storyline. And Josh, what exactly does that summary say? And it's from Toei, is that correct?
Yeah, it's a summary from Toei. I wouldn't consider it spoilers for anyone who's afraid of that. It's an official summary from Toei, so it's more promotional material if you want. But essentially, episode 47 airing Sunday, June 12th in Japan, and if you're in the States, you're gonna catch it Saturday night as usual. SOS from the future, a black new enemy appears. And here's the summary. With the threat of the androids resolved, a new menace threatens the world of the future. A man suddenly appears and goes on a rampage, driving humanity to the brink of extinction. Future Trunks resists, but even the power of a Super Saiyan is no match for this man called Black. Future Bulma resolves to ask for help from Goku and Vegeta in the world of the past. After taking half a year to gather enough fuel for a one-way trip in the time machine, the formidable foe Black bars Bulma and Trunks' way. So, we have that piece of dialogue, Mike.
Yes.
That says, Bulma resolves to ask for help from Goku and Vegeta in the world of the past. A one-way trip to go back, though, to get help from Goku and Vegeta.
Yeah.
This could be taken a couple, especially looking back at it now, a one-way trip. That does not mean that the Bulma from our timeline can't come up with another fuel source or build their own time machine in, like, you know, however many years. We don't know how it's going to go.
Yeah.
But for both of us, I feel like this is more implying that maybe, especially at least Goku and Vegeta, maybe they could be coming to the future with Trunks.
I think that's a possibility. Now, if I recall correctly, this might have only been the anime, or it might have been outside sources, but what Future Trunks, one of his side or backup plans was to bring Goku to the future to see if perhaps Goku could defeat the androids himself with his own power. So this seems like it'd be reminiscent of that general idea if he was unable to find something in the past, for example.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting. You know, we're not sure if it's just going to be Goku and Vegeta maybe training Trunks, which
yes.
I think the idea that we have here, whether or not it's going to happen, we don't know it's going to happen. We don't even know how plausible for Toriyama to have an outline like this written, even though the writing team at Toei is helping as well.
Yeah.
How plausible of a story this is, I think it'd make a much more interesting story to go in there and take Goku, Vegeta, maybe someone else along to see the future timeline. I'm not saying this is happening, but we know Gohan's been training. This could be his opportunity to maybe help out a little. He might not be up to snuff, but I don't want to dwell on that. But I think that makes much more of an interesting storyline, unless, you know, we know the Omni King's getting involved in this. And it's not just one piece of time travel, I don't think, because before this new information we got recently, when this arc was being promoted originally, it seemed to be a heavy emphasis on time travel. And to me, that means more than once or twice time travel is being used. So
yes.
Maybe this Black Goku chases them, or they do go back to fight him, but maybe they'd have to prevent him in their own timeline. I'm not really sure.
Well, I do think that there is an interesting possibility. Now, of course, we did see in this most recent arc of Dragon Ball Super, Goku was able to become so powerful that he literally transcended time, and he could fly through Hit's Tokitobashi, which literally freezes time for a certain period of time, however that works. And it's entirely possible that what they're going to try and do is somehow give Goku the power to travel through time under his own power, which it would definitely be a really interesting ability that Goku can add to his hat of tricks. So, you know, if he can't use, say, the Kaioken, he could also fly through time or manipulate time similar to Whis and Hit, to where he could possibly go after his enemies, and certainly that would make this Black Goku that much more of a threat if he really can do that. But it makes me wonder, you know, who could be going to the future if they actually did. I mean, it's entirely possible that since Trunks is coming back to talk to Gohan, I mean, it's likely that he's coming back to meet with Gohan, because Gohan, the last time they left off, was the most powerful fighter on the Earth, and he was the one who defeated Cell, and Goku is dead in his current timeline. It's entirely possible that he's going to go to Gohan and say, can you come with me to the future, Gohan, and help? And that could lead to maybe Gohan being a little bit more relevant. Maybe Goku and Vegeta help to train Gohan and Trunks at the same time, and maybe that way they come to become more serious as fighters, at least Gohan in that case. I think that there's a lot of room for possibilities of things they could do to make certain characters that necessarily weren't relevant in the past or for a long stretch of time relevant again. I mean, after all, when you think about it, Trunks was a character they introduced in one arc, kind of out of nowhere, and he became incredibly relevant to the point where the arc ends with Trunks killing the androids in his own timeline, and then Cell and pretty much bringing peace to his future. So it definitely seems like they're going to change up the whole dynamic of which characters are really relevant in Dragon Ball Super when they bring him back.
No, I definitely agree, and after talking about this, Mike, I really hope this is what happens. I hope they do go back into the future to really see how the world is, because it's saying in the summary that it's brought to the brink of extinction, which, you know, obviously isn't that far off of where the androids left off, of course.
Yes.
In Trunks' timeline. This is even farther in the future still. And yeah, we might see how Goku and Vegeta stack up against this Black Goku character. If he even is, you know, even close to as strong as, let's say, Goku or Vegeta even, he might not be. There might be some big villain behind us that I've been speculating, but, you know, that's a different type of video right there.
Well, we still have to wonder how the white hair, if they had gone Super Saiyan white instead of blue, would clash with the next villain. And I know that you had said that there is a possibility that it could be Frieza, just playing devil's advocate.
Well, let's just make sure, because of the way you worded that, Frieza in the Resurrection F movie they may have been talking about.
Yes.
Just so people don't get that
so there is, yeah, so there is a possibility that maybe in this case he has a transformation that makes his hair white and he's the villain, so maybe that's why they decide not to. Maybe that's how he's able to somehow compete with the gods.
That could fit with more of a, you know, he has like a black gi in the promotional art that we see, so white hair could mix pretty well with a black gi. I mean, that's a pretty common color combination, so I could see that actually.
Yeah, but the whole thing about him showing up almost kind of reminds me of something that Vision said in Civil War, the Captain America movie, where essentially he said that because we have become so powerful, new rivals and challenges must come out of nowhere to kind of challenge our rule and our might. So I guess that they could try and say the whole thing about, you know, when Boo showed up, or when now this black evil Goku shows up, that the characters, even when they bring peace to their time, a threat always shows up, and that kind of does fit with the general themes of Dragon Ball. But it'd be really cool to see the main characters actually time travel for once, and see what happens when they go to that future timeline, because then all bets are basically off the table once they go there.
Right, well, especially, just going back to what you were saying about, you know, how Dragon Ball's themes, you know, kind of are like, you know, the world's never really safe, and even going to what mainly is done in the Battle of Gods arc of Super and then onward is shown that there are stronger beings out there, and even this is even in Dragon Balls, that the characters are never going to be the strongest in the entire universe. If the series continues, there's always going to be something out there stronger, you know? So this could be something like that, or it could be a pushover character, I don't know.
I mean, it would be funny if they just go there and Gohan shows up and just effortlessly beats them in like 3 episodes.
I mean, just as a side thing, I mean, if this is a character that's, let's say, barring them off, and we know from previous material that Trunks escapes nearly with his life, if he can manage to escape, I mean, he's just, as the summary claims, a Super Saiyan, then I mean, it's possible that Goku would demolish him.
Well, then again, in his own future, somehow he was able to kind of fight the androids and escape from them with his life alone, even though just 17 alone was able to easily kill Gohan when he used just over 50% of his power. Exactly, so who knows? I mean, Trunks has always kind of been the king of inconsistencies. I mean, he just came out of nowhere and introduced time travel to the whole series to begin with. But essentially, this was kind of a theory that we were proposing, or kind of a cool topic and idea, because I think it's certainly a possibility, and it's something that'd be a nice change of pace for the series. But let us know your own thoughts down below. Do you agree with us? Do you disagree? Do you like this idea? And what are your own theories about, say, this Black Goku and what they're going to actually do in this next coming arc? And don't forget to check out Josh's channel, and as I always say, stick around, because there's a lot more to come in the future.
You better subscribe!